It is 9:47 a.m. on August 24th, 79 AD. You are 35 years old. You have about 3 hours to live. You don't know that yet. Your daughter is 6 streets away from you. Her name is Livia. She is 8 years old. She is sitting on a stone bench in her tutor's atrium, copying out a Greek poem in careful handwriting on a wax tablet she hates. She has begged you 100 times to stop sending her to these lessons. You have always said no.
No.
Today, that no is going to kill her. This is what the next 3 hours are going to do to you. You own the most successful bakery in Regio 9, the wealthy district of a Roman city called Pompeii. You did not start with money. Your father was a freedman who arrived in Pompeii with nothing. You worked 17 years to buy your first shop. Today, on a strongbox under your bed, sits 30,000 sesterces, enough to retire on. Enough to set up Livia in a marriage that would have been unthinkable for a freedman's granddaughter 10 years ago. You have spent your entire life chasing that strongbox. Every choice you have ever made has served it. Every no you have said
Please,
to Tullia and
just
Livia
this once.
has been a yes to the strongbox. You don't know that yet either. The bakery has 2 parts. The front, where customers come in, is bright. Painted walls, a counter, bowls of olives. You greet everyone by name.
Marcus?
The back is different. The back is one room with no door to the outside, 2 small windows set high in the wall, covered by iron bars, and 1 locked wooden door that opens into your atrium. In that room are 4 millstones, 4 blindfolded donkeys, and 4 people. You bought them 4 years ago. 3 men and a woman. You don't know their names. You have never asked. The key to that locked door is on a small bronze ring in your pocket. You carry it everywhere. You don't think about it. At 9 a.m., the ground shakes. You don't look up. Tremors are frequent here. Pliny the Younger, a 17-year-old Roman living across the bay, will later write that nobody paid attention to small earthquakes because everyone in Campania had learned to ignore them. You have learned to ignore a lot of things. At 10:15 a.m., your wife Tullia comes into the bakery. She is 33. You have been married 12 years. You know her face better than you know your own. Today her face is wrong. We should go to my sister's, she says, in Naples. You laugh. You have been laughing at Tullia for 12 years. For a few tremors? For Livia. The name does what it always does. You stop laughing. But you don't agree. It's nothing, you say. It's always nothing. Livia has lessons until noon, then we'll see. She looks at you for a long second, then she nods. She goes back into the house to pack a small bag, just in case, she says, and you go back to your bread. You don't see her face as she walks away. If you had, you would have remembered it forever. It is now 11:47 a.m. You are 18 minutes from the end of your life as you understand it. You are at the front counter when the sky changes. A customer, old Marcus, who buys 2 loaves every day, is mid-sentence when his eyes go past you, out the window, and his mouth stops moving. You turn around. The mountain is on fire. Not the slopes, not the trees, the top. A column of gray and white and black is rising from the peak of Mount Vesuvius into a sky that no longer looks like a sky. It is going up, faster than anything you have ever seen go up. 18 kilometers away from your bakery, Vesuvius has just exploded. The column will reach 33 kilometers in altitude. It will eject 1.5 million tons of material per second. It will contain 100,000 times the thermal energy of the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. You don't know any of that. You only know that Tullia is in the doorway of the bakery and her face has gone the color of bone, and she is saying one word, and the word is Livia. You run. You don't run for the gate. You don't run for the harbor. You run toward the mountain, because that's where Livia is. You and Tullia push through the streets together. People are running the other way. People are screaming. A horse without a rider gallops past you. A man is on his knees in the middle of the street, hands raised toward the sky, doing nothing. You ignore them. You think about Livia on the stone bench, learning Greek, the lessons she hates, the ones you forced on her because a girl who can recite Sappho is a girl who marries up. You start running faster. You make it 3 streets before you stop. You stop because Tullia has stopped. She is looking back at the bakery. "What?" you say. "The strongbox." "What?" 30,000 sesterces, under the bed. "We need it, we can't." "Livia, we can't leave with nothing. 2 minutes, run back." You stare at her. The ash is starting to fall now, small pieces, the size of grapes, landing on her shoulders, landing on yours. You should say no. You should grab her hand and keep running. But you have spent 12 years saying no to her about everything else. And the one time her instinct is right, you give in. Because she has named the thing you actually love. You turn around, you run back to the house. That's the first mistake. You sprint into the bedroom. You drag the strongbox out from under the bed. It is heavy, bronze, the size of a small dog. You grip the handles and you stagger toward the front door. You pass the locked door to the bakery. The slaves are pounding on it. They have heard the mountain. They have felt the pumice on the roof. They are screaming for help. You feel the key in your pocket. You think about it for exactly 2 seconds. Then you remember Livia. You tell yourself, slaves later, Livia now. You'll come back. You walk past the door. You have walked past that door every single day for 4 years. This time is no different. That's the second mistake. You step into the street with the strongbox. It takes you 6 minutes to get back to where Tullia was waiting. She is not there. You stand in the middle of the street, holding the strongbox, watching the pumice fall harder around you. Some pieces are the size of fists now. One hits your shoulder. Another hits the back of your hand and breaks the skin. You scream her name. You scream Livia's name. Nobody answers. The strongbox is still in your hands. You start running north toward the forum. You reach the tutor's house at 12:45 p.m. The front door is open. The atrium is empty. The stone bench where Livia sits is empty. There is a wax tablet on the bench, a Greek poem half copied out in a child's careful handwriting. The wax is still soft. She was sitting here less than an hour ago. You pick up the tablet. You hold it against your chest. Tullia is not here either. A neighbor leans out of a window above you. An old woman. She sees you and she says, "The children, they ran. The tutor took them toward the marina gate." You ask if she saw Tullia. She shakes her head. "Only the children." You stand in the atrium holding a wax tablet covered in your daughter's handwriting and a bronze strongbox containing your life savings. And for the first time in 35 years, you understand that you might have to choose. You don't drop the strongbox. That's the third mistake. You run for the marina gate, but the streets are now buried in ankle-deep pumice, so you can barely move. So it takes you 40 minutes to cover 6 streets. So by the time you reach the gate at 1:25 p.m., hundreds of people are already there, and the gate is jammed, and the ash is so thick you can taste it. You push through the crowd shouting Tullia's name, Livia's name. You hear a child scream. Your head snaps toward it. You shove people out of the way. You see her, small, dark-haired, 8 years old. It's not her, it's another child, a boy. He looks at you terrified, and his mother pulls him away. You stand in the middle of the gate as the crowd surges around you. Tullia is not here. Livia is not here. You don't know if they are ahead of you or behind you. You turn around. You start walking back into the city. You are still carrying the strongbox. You walk the streets of Pompeii for the next 4 hours. The ash is so heavy now that the roofs of buildings are starting to collapse. You hear them go down behind you. You hear screaming inside. You pass your bakery. The slaves are no longer pounding on the door. You don't know if that is because they have given up or because the roof has fallen in on them. You don't have time to find out. You keep walking. You scream Livia's name into every doorway. You scream Tullia's name into every alley. The streets fill with 3 meters of volcanic debris around you. The bodies in the streets become more frequent. The people you pass become fewer and fewer, until there are no people at all. At sunset on August 24th, 79 AD, you take shelter in a stranger's cellar. You don't know whose house it is. The door is open, the cellar is empty. You go inside. You pull the wooden hatch shut above you. You sit on the stone floor in the dark. You set the strongbox down beside you. You hold the wax tablet against your chest. You think about Livia on the stone bench. You think about the half-finished Greek poem. You think about how she begged you to let her stop going to those lessons. How many times you said no. You wait. Nobody comes. Around dawn on August 25th, the air begins to change. It becomes hot, then hotter, then impossible. What you don't know, what you cannot see, sealed in a cellar 20 feet under a buried city, is that the pyroclastic flow has just arrived. A wall of superheated gas and ash, 200 miles per hour, 300 degrees Celsius. It is sweeping through Pompeii. It will reach your cellar in approximately 15 seconds. You hold the wax tablet against your chest. You whisper her name. You die very quickly. You don't know that Tullia died at 4:15 p.m. the previous afternoon, in the street outside your bakery, hit by a falling roof tile, 3 blocks from where you were searching for her. You don't know that Livia made it almost to the Marina Gate before the tutors group was separated in the crowd, that she was eventually pulled into a small house by a kind stranger, that she died in that stranger's cellar, sometime in the night, holding the stranger's hand because there was no one else to hold. You died alone with a wax tablet. She died alone in a cellar 2 streets from where you were dying alone in another cellar. You did not know. She did not know. The mountain didn't care. In 1748, Italian engineers begin digging up a buried city they have heard rumors about. Over the next 3 centuries, they uncover a Roman world frozen in the exact moment of its death. In 1860, an archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli realizes that the cavities in the hardened ash are the negative spaces left by human bodies. He pours plaster into the cavities. The plaster fills the space. When the ash is broken away, what remains is a perfect cast of a person at the moment they died. The casts are placed behind glass. Tourists come to look at them. They take photographs. They never know any of the names. In one cellar in the Marina district, archaeologists find a man. He is curled around a strongbox containing 30,000 sesterces, Roman coins, untouched for nearly 17 centuries. In his other hand, he holds something small and flat, a wax tablet. The writing on it has long since faded, but archaeologists can still see the faint indentations of a child's careful handwriting. It is half of a Greek poem. They photograph the man. They photograph the strongbox. They put both behind glass. They do not know his name. In a different cellar, in a different district, archaeologists find a small body, a child, 8 years old, curled into a ball. She is alone. There is no adult near her, no family, no name on the wall, no personal possessions. They photograph her. They put her behind glass too. They do not know her name. They do not know whose she was. They do not know that 3 streets away, in a different glass case, in a different cellar exhibit, is the man who walked into a dying city to find her. And in December 2023, archaeologists working in Pompeii's Reggio 9 district open a sealed wooden door that has been locked for 1,944 years. Inside the bakery, pressed against the door, they find the impressions of 4 bodies: a man, a woman, 2 men. They had been pounding to get out. They do not know any of their names. They do not know that the key to that door was in the pocket of a man found 3 streets away, in another cellar, holding a wax tablet against his chest. You spent your life saying no. No to your wife. No to your daughter. No to 4 people behind a locked door. The mountain didn't kill you. You held your daughter's poem in your hand. She held no one's.